Hello everybody, my name is Nathan. Welcome to a brand new Let's Play series in Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues, playing as the Texan Brotherhood. So basically, it's Brotherhood of Steel Power Armor troops in cowboy hats. Fantastic times all around. There has been in a recent update. Last time I played this mod, none of this was definitely not in the mod. Like, I think hangdogs are the furthest east you could go. So I think like all of Texas is essentially new content. I'm not too sure actually when that was added in though. But, you know, since I last played. So you have 17 divisions. Put them underneath a Edward J. Rusk. Sounds great. You can be under this person right there. So, what is the current situation? Well, we do start off in a faction. We are the leaders of the Texan Economic Union. Basically, I guess we're making like our own EU, but in Texas. So, of course, it's just 10 times better. And we will draw a front line, probably just down here. I don't really know which way we're going to be expanding to begin with, most because I haven't played in a long time. And we definitely haven't played as Texas Brotherhood. So we got the long march west. We're going to get a little bit of backstory here. Of course, we will be going for... what do we have? We are considered... I'm assuming we're considered advanced, would be my guess. Let's go for cap plus 3%. We will go with basic aircraft. Production efficiency cap goes up. No, definitely go for, we might even be, like, somewhat unique as well. We even got, like, the underground expansion. Sure. Go with you, and then we will also go with work as needed or work assignments. Max factory in state. Factory output is 10%, factory output is 15%. You know what? More factory output? That's what I want to see. So we have 28 factories. We are 14, 9, and 3. One of the first few times you actually see yourselves having more military factories than civilian to begin with. So build one civilian factory down here. What are we missing anything? No. We have power armor, infantry equipment, special ops, and motorized vehicles. So I guess we'll just double production of basic weapons for now. We do need a little bit of water. We can get that. Do we have any subjects? No. So get that from Lone Star, which is up here, who's already part of our economic union. So, bottle cap economy. We have no money whatsoever. We make 14,000. Seems pretty good. We're spending 430. So we're doing more than enough. More than. I'm guessing that can't be 14,000, right? That seems like it'd be a an insane amount. Get our Army Navy experience. We definitely don't need any of the old Fallout intros. They don't really do much for us. And we'll go for 2 convoys and 1 canoe haul to begin with. We might need to naval invade some territory down the south, depending on, again, on like how things actually end up going here. Then we'll just click ourselves off to speed 5. And actually have different music in this mod as well. Instead of, you know, the traditional Hearts 4 music, it's got the, you know, Fallout soundtracks. Not with the actual music, though. Just like the made-for-game soundtrack. Okay, caps in a 3-point update. How to bring a basic tutorial system. How to direct for your first playthrough version 3.0. You know what? The hostile income is the sum of 2 numbers. Fair enough. For modern countries, the majority of their caps come from fiat income, or no, from flat income. Flat income is generated. Currently make 14 caps of flat income. So no, it is supposed to be 14. It's not supposed to be 400,000, right? Or 14,000. Okay. Bank in the bill. Caps system viewed as a glance from the top bar. Showing the currency. Okay, we have nothing. Current troop cost is... Okay, armies cost money. America Universalis. So you click on some of this stuff here. Economic nodes are the cornerstone of the 3-point update to caps. The state node view can be seen by selecting a state that is part of a node. You currently control 0. Nodes are a collection of member states, and a central state. Each node has a level between 1 and 10. You're the hub. Okay, if we go over to the hub, which is... You're the boneyard, but it should be close to the... Yeah, there you are. So you got trade hub. Okay, so you have dockyards, factories, member states, the hub, necropolis, and Glenville. Okay, interesting. Continue. Caravans, not minivans. No route. Okay, so I don't think we really have, like, anything. We'll worry about that afterwards. So we don't have any trade hubs at all. I don't know if Okay, no, you do. The Lone Star economic node does exist. Established organizations, Butcher Pete's, Lone Star, Snyder. I mean, they've got a pretty decent value, 35,000. But we don't really have anything of the sort. But Houston does. So you might want to expand our way over here and try to take their hub from them. So the chase. The Texas Brotherhood truly began when news reached them of the rise of Addis and his army. A splinter group of super mutants hell bent on carrying on the legacy of the Master. Alarmed, elements of the Brotherhood split off and began a large, grueling chase with the only purpose of eradicating them, before they could carry on with whatever horrible scheme they had in mind. Rhombus, leader of the expedition, had to assemble his forces for the arduous path ahead, and so he... Okay, let's see. 5% max speed, mobilization speed, more crew compilation, pretty good. 1,000 manpower from everyone. No, definitely took a balanced retinue. 2% more recruit population is pretty good. What is our next decision here going to be? Like, I can't, like, invite to the Economic Union. It has mutually positive relations with them, which we don't. Like, go to, like, these guys over here. Like, we don't have a border with them. Fair enough. And I'm assuming most of the people probably don't. Actually, you like us. But you don't border us right now. Do any of you guys border us that actually like us? You do. And if we have political power, you might actually agree to join our faction. So I guess as Texas Brotherhood, we're not really expanding militarily. We're trying to expand diplomatically and probably economically as well. Beginning the Texan National Guard. On his travels throughout the lands, Rhombus and his detachment kept growing in size. Tales of his heroic quest and the possibility of an end to the super unit menace had rallied many of to his cause as his expedition marched. Now in Texas, he and his forces encountered remnants of the National Guard. Learning of his goal, they asked to join him to help put an end to the Atlas madness. Rhombus knew his group was already wary of newcomers and wouldn't accept them so easily, so he decided to... Garbage. I mean, no matter... I guess... Less manpower with 10% more stability. 2 military factories. Yeah, you know, we'll take 2 military factories. I mean, the stability loss kind of sucks, but it's not the worst in the world. I think 2 military factories is more than worthwhile. At least for us to begin the... You have, like, no civilian factories. I probably should have taken the civilian instead. But, as I was saying, as there was no... as we're still really early on to the campaign, they get 10% stability loss. I'm sure we'll be able to match that in the future. Okay. The Ghoul Ranger. The Brotherhood expedition encountered a particular group once arrived in Texas and settled down in preparation for the battle ahead. A group of so-called Texas Rangers met them, led by a ghoul calling himself Lead Rock Runner. Lead Rock, I thought that maybe spelled something backwards. Lead Rock presented himself as the only remaining descendant of the pre-war Texas Rangers trying to keep peace throughout the land. And he was appalled at what Addis had wrought upon his jurisdiction. He wanted to join the expedition and put the mutants 6 feet under. Okay. Are you Lodric? Yes, Lodric Walker. You've got Perception, Endurance, Charisma. What else can we do with you? Awareness, Sniper, Night Person, Survivalist, Life Giver, Aqua Boy. More Invasion? Yeah, that's actually not bad. Attrition. You know, 100% Reconnaissance boost is also, like, not bad at all. In the wake of the Giant. So, I mean, yeah, because you are, your super mutants, you don't like us whatsoever. You won't say yes, though. They do not desire an ally, and the world is too dangerous for them to want to be friends with us. If the world is dangerous, you should join the Economic Union, nerd. I don't know what your problem is. National focus complete. Rhombus' fate. The battle that followed the expedition finally catching up with Atlas' army was truly legendary, to the point that wild tales are still spun to this day about what happened. Many talk about the huge confrontations pitting the mightiness of the Brotherhood's paladins against the behemoths in single combat, thousands of night inflicting righteous fury upon the cowardly mutants and shattering their will for decades to come. But of all the tales, the wildest are what happened to Rhombus on that day. The truth is, send volunteer forces. Okay. He bought the farm during the battle. I'm guessing that means that you died? I mean, I guess we'll do this one. I guess we can send people out now. So what else can we do now? Fork less taken. Texas for Rusk. Which is, yeah, further down here. Vision people 5%. Organization plus 10% just seems like objectively better. Brotherhood expansion, more population factors. Rusk for Texas. Yeah, we do need more factors as well. We take 60 days. Lone Stars make on equivalent focus. One nation, two systems. We have been betrayed. Okay, so maybe our allies could betray us at some point. Hopefully that doesn't come to pass. And you have to clean the focus, commonplace deputization. So I'm guessing if we get all the way down here, we form like a massive Texas union. We'll go over Texas for Rusk. 10% organization is definitely just, I think, just better than speed. I mean, speed can be useful at times, yes. But more often than not, I think it's basically bad. So you're Union of Austin. You are a super mutant, as I can notice. You can't just fight on each other. Fulfilling our campaign promises, mutant industry. So I'm guessing your super mutants have decided that, you know, Atlas, he's too much for you. You said you want to go with a good old-fashioned Texas Brotherhood. Wear our cowboy hats and yelling yeehaw or whatever the hell it is that we do these days. Prioritize consumer technology. Research speed goes down. Focus on the eternal sphere. Stability goes up for less war support. Or expel the riffraff. I think right now we don't need to worry about any of that right now. You have 50 days until we get some money. Invest in small businesses. Passive cap income is -7, which actually is quite a bit. Lose 30,000 bottle caps. For 180 days, a lot of things do become pretty cheap for us in terms of political power. So what are our policies right now? We are voluntary deputization. We have outside volunteers. No undesirables. We recruit all mutants, legendary wastelanders, and veteran training instructors. Oh, I don't want to close it. We also have economic policies. We have provisions for protection, which is just horrible. We're open for traders, and we got to centralize stockpiles. We have banned chems. We have no slavery. And we have freedom of speech. Okay, not the worst things in the world. So what are you? Protections for... Provisional protection is just garbage. Cap for the army, wasteland economy. 40%. Everybody for the war machine. I guess... I think you're just a unique one. Lone Star doesn't exist. Or they're considered rude. Because we have Lone Star right now, we can't really do anything at the moment. They're kind of holding us back, it seems. The General stirs. Santa Ana was a slumbering south of Rio Grande since he helped drive off Legion incursion 10 years ago. But for some reason, he begun to stir. Conscripts and the Steel Legions of the General had been sighted on the river's southern banks, and press gangs have been stockpiling food and fuel. It's time to tell. Only time will tell what he's up to. Are you the General? I mean, this is the Rio Grande. But I mean, this big, like, robot person, I don't know if they're really doing anything to, warrant us really being, worried. Manpower goes down. Energy cell production drops a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit of training for now. Seems more than okay. More recruit population goes up. Bonuses to infantry weapons. Well, let's get our factories going as well. We kind of need those sooner than later. Okay, decisions available. Don't worry about political actions right now. Don't worry about this. It's not super important. We do need some scrap metal. We can get that from nobody because we have no factory. I guess we'll trade it for now. We're gonna get more civilian factories in a moment anyways. But it sucks that we already are out of civilian factories. Probably because we got this goddamn provision for protection, which is 50% consumer good factory. And factory output, document output, everything just absolutely horrible. We cannot remove. Because Lone Star... Like, what does Lone Star need to do? Formation of Texas Economic Union. Mercenary company strength and unity. Not in a civil war. Which one do we need to do in order to, like, not... 2 nations, 1 system. Rekindle the economic union. Victory for the greater good. I mean, they're both labeled victory for the greater good. Now, powerhouse, rekindle the economic union. Like, are you this? I'm guessing it means this one. Ruler, the hand warband made their move. Like, we want to make sure we don't get betrayed. That seems like it could lead to some problems. To hell with Texas. Our future old world blue. So I'm guessing if we get betrayed, it kind of like screws us over a lot. Let me just see. For all the promises and vows, allies didn't care. Because we can't do any of this. No, we don't need protector of Texas. But in order to do this, we need you. Wait. For consolidation. No, you need this. Old world blues. As no outsiders, no mutants allowed. Move national spirit. Military access. We leave the Texas Economic Union. So if we get betrayed, it seems like there's a lot of really screws up our what do you call it? Really screws up our focus tree. Like the amount of things we have access to shrinks significantly with that. Okay, Chief of Army. How about a commander attack? A little bit less defense, balanced. Honestly, let's take the one who's just gonna throw men at the problem, and we'll hope for the best. From that, also we need new research. Let's go with. Let's research motorized flight. Let's be able to throw some planes in the air because having really good, like having an air force in older blues is really good because most of the AI, I mean, nobody really starts off with any aircraft. Little Texas Arms Association. Declare war on you. But we're not even allowed to invite you to the Texas Economic Union. You're just kind of doing your own thing. Oh, it's because you're a puppet of Rio Grande. Okay. Fair enough, then. Rio Grande, do you want to join our faction? No, they don't like us. I'm surprised. I mean, the world apparently... Oh, no, it's negative 100 because the world is not considered dangerous. The world tension is not high enough for them to want to join factions. But, you know, people up here are going to war with each other. Linus is starting to, you know, slowly expand. I'm sure we'll have some problems with him in the future. We got the NCR over here. We got the SHU. Looks like they did change the borders a little bit. Because Western Brotherhood now owns more territory. But at the same time, less territory. Because they don't extend all the way north and south. Stonks. We aren't quite sure what that index fund is. Or if they even exist. Again, the Vice Esteemed Advisor Jeremy. This investment has done great in growing the wealth of our nation. Okay, thank you for 150 bottle caps. Does great things for us. Construction speed cap income goes down. No, let's invest in small businesses. Get some of this stuff going. Troll warrants, declared war on some other people. We could even do some political bribes. It'll make tax a lot cheaper for a little bit. Okay, let's also go for one more military factory, one more civilian factory. Basically try to double dip as much as we can. And I guess we'll go with like... No, let's start building up some basic aircraft. I think that's something that we definitely do want. How many men do you guys have? We don't know. We have 17, which is not horrible. Okay, you guys are doing strength and unity. Texan Brotherhood has not begun the equivalent focus in their tree. Which I think is this one. But we can't do that. The corresponding focus to this one will be completed in Lone Star's shared focus tree. Do they also have the same, yeah, 2 nations, 1 system. So they need to go this way as well. Because otherwise, we are going to be in a much more sad state of affairs. We have 65 political power. I mean, we could have bribed some people. Like, so to say, that's about a little bit of political power there. I mean, how long does it actually last for? For half a year. we'll wait until we for sure have the ability to, what do you call it? Till we have the, for sure the ability to buy a new advisor. Get them for a little bit cheaper as well. I'm guessing they've added this cohort here because Cedar Legion would spend too much time trying to kill these guys on this side of the map. And then once the war of the NCR broke out, they would immediately be killed. Same probably with the NCR. That's the reason why the Mojave territories exist over here. That's my best guess. Try to make sure the AI doesn't... Shale's army has declared war on Los. You're going down towards the south. I mean, there are wars happening here. Shale is a super mutant. You're part of the remnants here. And I'm assuming we're going to go to war with you at some point. But when will that happen? I don't quite know. Okay, we got some improved tools. Upgrading our industry a little bit. Yeah, I mean, only being like 0.6 years ahead of time. I don't care about that so much. Let's get our upgrades. What else we got? We got similar training. Turn all you off for now. Yeah, get me the reconnaissance bonus with you. Flexible, junk rounds. Defense plus 6%. Attack plus 3%. Tank attack and defense. Attack and core territory. These are recovery rates. Not bad, actually. Planning speed goes up. You can have 200... You know what? Plus 200% awareness. So, hopefully, no matter what, we can always kind of counter what the enemy is going to be doing against us. But I do think that for right now, in little old Texas, is going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So, thanks, everybody, for watching my Anthem. If you enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not doing, play thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.